Hello, my country people. Welcome back to the news. The House of Representatives has summoned the chairman of the Economic and the Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ola Olukayode, the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Correctional Center, and the social media personalities Idris, popularly known as Bobrisky, and also the influencer Martins Ortiz, known as VeryDarkMan. The Joint Committee of the House resolved to investigate claims made in a viral social media voice recording in which Bobrisky allegedly confessed to paying 15 million naira to the EFCC officials to dismiss charges of money laundering brought against him. And this conversation, guys, has indeed ignited public outrage and raised serious questions about the integrity of the EFCC in Nigeria. So the committee directed Olukayode and the Correctional Service Chief to appear before them on Monday, September 30th, along with all relevant officers implicated in these allegations. And this allegation arose after Bobrisky was sentenced to 6 months in prison earlier this year for currency abuse, claimed he was allowed to serve his time in a VIP facility, further fueling suspicions of corruption within the agency. And we can recall that Bobrisky was accused of currency abuse in terms of the Naira abuse. He went to prison, but when he came out of prison just few months back, a lot of Nigerians were surprised to see Bobrisky's appearance, not looking like one that actually went to prison. Because how can you claim you went to prison and you came out looking all fresh, all pumped up? I mean, people were asking, did Bobrisky actually go to prison or did he went on a vacation? So many questions were popping up. And in response to the mounting pressure, the EFCC spokesman Dele Oyiwale disclosed that Olukayode had ordered an immediate internal investigation into the accusation, where the EFCC has finally invited both Bobrisky and VeryDarkMan to its Lagos directorate to aid in the inquiry. You see, VeryDarkMan recently made a comment where he involved Femi Falana and also his son Falz. And when he made that comment, he kind of referred to Femi Falana as collecting this bribe from Bobrisky. And then Femi Falana's son gave VeryDarkMan 24 hours to retract his offensive and derogatory publications against him, or he will face a legal action. They wrote a letter, and published it online that that VeryDarkMan must retract his statements and he must issue a public apology. The controversial claims by VeryDarkMan insisted that Falana demanded 10 million naira from the cross-dresser Idris Okunyi, popularly known as Bobrisky, in exchange for removing his name from the records of the EFCC. And they have picked up VeryDarkMan's statements and said he made a reckless statement, that his statement was aimed at tarnishing Falana's reputation among the public. But this very issue is between VeryDarkMan, the EFCC and Bobrisky. It was said that Falana has never spoken to Bobrisky regarding any alleged pardon or whatsoever, where they emphasize that while freedom of expression is a constitutional right, it must be exercised responsibly, and individuals must not damage or tarnish another person's reputation through unfounded allegations. To an extent, VeryDarkMan tried, referring Falz as Agege. You know what that means now. And this whole thing kind of turned upside down. So the family of Falz and Femi Falana have been dragging VeryDarkMan online on all various social media platforms that he needs to tender an apology. Although the time frame given for VeryDarkMan to tender that apology has elapsed. VeryDarkMan has not tendered any apology. So they decided that if VeryDarkMan does not tender a public apology. They will seek the appropriate legal remedies for his publication against Femi Falana. And this same VeryDarkMan accused Bobrisky of failing to repay the debt of 4 million naira, and to support his claims, he linked this viral video recording that revealed how Bobrisky negotiated his 6 month jail term in April. And according to VeryDarkMan, Bobrisky bribed the EFCC officers with 15 million naira to drop the money laundering charges against him, because initially when the EFCC charged Bobrisky to court, they charged him on 2 counts charges bordering on the naira abuse and money laundering. The naira abuse and money laundering. But later on, it was also said that the EFCC dropped the charges of money laundering and only held Bobrisky for the naira abuse, which he pleaded guilty. That was how he went to prison. But unfortunately, when Bobrisky came out, we saw that he was looking all fresh. I mean, he wasn't looking like someone that served a prison term. So people started raising questions, and finally, a voice recording emerged from VeryDarkMan that showed that Bobrisky was giving a VIP session. So he wasn't in prison at all. So this has raised questions from several persons. In fact, the Minister of Interior had relieved or suspended those correctional officers involved in this Bobrisky's case. He has suspended them. The Minister of Interior suspended them, where VeryDarkMan appreciated his efforts for suspending them. But now the House of Reps is summoning the EFCC chairman. They are summoning Bobrisky. They've summoned VeryDarkMan to come and explain this scandal. And I'm wondering, how come the House of Reps is so concerned about this Bobrisky's case? Meanwhile, we have the likes of Yahaya Bello. Nobody has summoned the EFCC chairman concerning Yahaya Bello. But when it comes to the likes of Bobrisky, I mean, all these things are just trivial matters. Matters that, yes, we know there are a lot of corruption going on in this country. But how come Bobrisky's own is so important that even the House of Representatives is summoning them over this 15 million naira bribery scandal? But Yahaya Bello has been evading arrest on several occasions. They've not summoned the EFCC. I think what we practice in Nigeria is selective justice. That is what they are doing. It is good that they summon them, all fine. But in a country that is working, they would have first of all summoned the likes of Yahaya Bello and other corrupt politicians that were accused of one corruption case or the other. Guys, this case is going to be a long case, so it's going to be a long case. But then, I applaud the likes of VeryDarkMan, for being, more like an activist, because he's currently the most influential person in Nigeria and reviewed this corruption going on in the EFCC. This is like, VDM has made it possible that EFCC would investigate EFCC. Imagine EFCC chairman not knowing what's happening within his organization. And now the House of Reps has summoned them. So guys, what are your thoughts on this? I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts concerning this in the comments section. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Thank you. Bye for now.